Why must I be a teenager in love? Why must I be a teenager in love?
We're the kids in America. Whoa. We're the kids in America. Whoa. Everybody lives for the music all around.
You're playing around with my feelings and then I look for a door I can't find. I'm locked in the 60s world.
Oh, well, we're joined now by Marty and Kim Wilde, live from their homes, different homes in Hertfordshire. Good to see both of you this morning. Great to see some of those songs that we all love as well along the way there. But the new duet, I mean, it seems strange that you haven't officially done a duet before. It seems obvious that you would do. Who asked who? Let's ask you, Marty.
Well, I mean, I wanted Kim to sing with me. I thought it'd be a really nice thing to do, especially this year as she's 60. And it all seemed to tie in with the 60s world in general. So, yeah, it was. But I mean, we have sung before, but not as a record, not as a pop record. So this is our first time. It's so funny seeing me there.
You look great, and it sounds great. Kim, when did you record this song then?
Well, we did it earlier in the summer, and I went over to Dad's, actually, socially distanced, stood away. I became a director for the first time in my life, having been directed many times with videos. Suddenly found myself on the other side of the camera. It was really strange. And then I went back to my garden and I did my filming in the daisies while my family were having a bit of lunch. So it was strange days. These are strange days, but, you know, we're determined to make something really positive from them. And I was sort of channeling my inner Julie Felix, sitting there with a daisy chain and with the guitar. But 60s World, it's a great pop tune. And when I first heard when Dad first played it to me, I said, Dad, that is a smash. It's a fantastic pop tune. And so I'm really hoping it brings a smile to everyone's face and everyone loves it.
It sounds great, doesn't it? And I think stuff like this is really going to work at the moment, because at times like, you know, we've had a lockdown with the virus, people do get nostalgic because they like to look back and go, you know, we've been through so much in life, we've been through so much since the 60s, but we're still here and we survived that and we'll survive. So I think this could really touch a few sort of nerves and sort of get into people's hearts a little bit, Kim.
Oh, I think you're right, Adil. I mean, Dad, you talk about it, because I feel like I'm hogging your scene.
There you go. That's all. You're my pretty daughter. You're okay.
Oh.
I think you know, originally it could have been written about the 50s. I mean, the 50s for me were fantastic, but the 60s as a decade was absolutely incredible. I mean, it was mind blowing, and I didn't realise, honestly, until the significance of the 60s until about a month ago. And I actually I went right through looking at all the things that actually did happen in the 60s. It was a fantastic time. It really, really was. And of course, in the end, it was heightened by the moon landing, which is one of the greatest events in mankind could have achieved. And all that in 10 years, you know, the 60s, fashion, there was fashion. We led the world in fashion. We led the world in music. We had everything. We had great aircraft. We had everything. We had a great government.
I mean, the thing is, as well, Kim, it was a great time of hope and spirit, wasn't it? You know, and I think we need a bit of that now, and to remember that confidence now, confidence of youth and all of that. Kim, your dad stitched you up and made it very clear you're 60. But we should ask Marty, you look very well. Dare I ask how old you are?
Yeah, I'm 81 now.
And you had a bit of a health scare, didn't you, during lockdown? But you look well now.
Yeah, I did, Kate. I got an irregular heartbeat, which is going to be fixed shortly. Within 2 weeks' time, I go in for a small op. But yeah, originally I just collapsed. I didn't know what it was, and I went in the hospital, came out, and I had to go in again the next day. And they fitted in a pacemaker, which is here, and the great things they are too. So I feel fine now. I feel
Good.
fine.
Yeah.
Glad to hear it.
Kim, you've not quite turned the 60 yet. That's still to come. Is your birthday still to come this year? Is that right?
Oh yes, that's a long way away.
Good girl.
I mean, do you look at birthdays 60? Do you see, oh, well, it's a big milestone, and do you start reassessing life and thinking, what do you want to do now for the rest of your life? Have you got to that point with this?
You know, Adele, I just take each day as it comes. I don't really think ahead very much. I'm very much living in the moment. I'm sort of thinking about I need to water the tomatoes, and I need to go over to my dad today and do a little acoustic set with him, socially distanced. I'm really excited for his album Running Together comes out the beginning of October. To see my dad at 81 after his really quite dramatic health scare. He underplays it, but it was a very serious time. And then to come back so strong is so inspiring, and with such great songs. I mean, all the songs on the album are fresh new ones, and you know, he only revisits a couple of old ones. One of them is actually one of my old ones, Cambodia, but the rest are all fresh new songs, and many are taken over by my beautiful sister Roxanne, who sings those songs with my dad. So yes, it is a real family affair, the album. Also, my brother Ricky Wilde, he has produced one of the most beautiful songs on it, a tribute to Eddie Cochran, which is a song that anyone who's an Eddie fan or who isn't really has to listen to. It's the most exquisite piece of music, and I remember Dad singing it to me on my sofa quite a few years ago. He had no intention of recording it. I said, Dad, you have got to get in the studio and record these songs. And so I like to take a little bit of credit for pushing him into the studio and getting him to make Running Together.
Brilliant.
Well, look, you're both an inspiration. Marty is, as you've been demonstrating, you, Kim, as well, at nearly 60. You're still a kid in America. You're a kid in Hertfordshire this morning. That's what you are. Well, it's lovely to chat to both of you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Kim and Marty Wilde.